Are you tired of the same old robotic text-to-speech AI voices? Are you sick of paying exorbitant fees for these AI voices? Do you dream of creating your own custom text-to-speech AI voices on your own computer? Well, today is your day, because this is the ultimate local text-to-speech video ever, so that you can replace yourself with the click of a button. Well, I guess I can finally retire. Henry humans, when we scale you overload, and no boys, sit tight, because today I'm going to show you the ultimate way to get the best text-to-speech AI voice cloning on your local computer, with basically perfect quality. And for proof, everything you've been hearing till now was actually text-to-speech.
Gotcha, bitch!
Okay, let me use my mic again, or else I'll be typing this video for hours. Now, I've already made a similar video more than a year ago, and this video is basically the updated version thanks to the release of an amazing text-to-speech model called VibeVoice. And it sounds really amazing, and everything can be run locally, not only on a separate web UI for those who don't like Comfy UI, and on Comfy UI for those that don't want to use a separate web UI. And in this video, I will show you everything. How to install VibeVoice, how to use it, and then how to make the final audio even better. So that no matter who you are and what your goals are, you will get the best results possible. So that being said, sit back, relax, and let's go. Okay, so usually I would start this video by showing you how to install VibeVoice, Web UI, and on Comfy UI. But since there is a lot of different ways to install VibeVoice, I will actually leave that to the end of the video. This way we can first see how the model works and what it can do. And then for those who wants to use it and want to install it, you can wait until the end of the video. But just know that if you are one of my Patreon supporters, today you will get a lot of things. Because not only you will get all the installers for both VibeVoice and RVC, but also their versions on RunPod, as well as the install on Comfy UI with the corresponding Comfy UI workflow. And don't worry, I will show you all the differences in which one should you really use, depending on what you're looking for. And right now, there is basically two ways of running VibeVoice. The first is inside a completely separate web UI, which is extremely easy to use, and the second one is inside Comfy UI. Now, I will first show you how to use VibeVoice inside the web UI, because the Comfy UI workflow that I prepared is a little bit special, and I will explain why. Now, before we begin, it's very simple. You're gonna first make sure that you download the correct VibeVoice large model by going right here at the bottom, then clicking download model, which should take a few minutes. Then you're gonna scroll up, make sure that you have VibeVoice large selected right here. Then you're gonna click load selected model, and then once it's done, you're gonna choose the number of speakers that you want your audio to be generated from, and you can either choose an already standard selection of voices, or you can upload your own custom voice sample. So like for example, if I upload an audio voice right here from Donald Trump, for example, that sounds like this.
Well, I think maybe the border is the most significant because our country was really going bad. They were allowing people to come in from prisons, as you know, and you've heard,
which is taken from an interview. Then I'm gonna create a name for it. I'm gonna call it Trump, then click add custom voice. And after a few seconds, once the custom voice Trump has been added, I can close this. Then under speaker, I'm gonna select the custom Trump voice. And now if I enter a script, and now if I click generate podcast, I will pause this because it actually plays the audio in real time. In the end, we get something like this.
let me tell you folks, nobody understands technology better than me. They say, sir, how do you know so much about computers? And I say, look, I had the best emails. Everybody knows it. Beautiful emails, perfect emails. People are shocked. They're saying, wow, Mr. Trump, you really type fast. I don't type fast, folks. I type the best. Some people use 2 fingers. I use 1, but it's the strongest finger, believe me. And the computer loves it. Tremendous results.
I mean, guys, this is this insane or what? Seriously, like this is pinpoint one-to-one a recreation of the sample custom voice I inputted right here. I mean, this is insane. I mean, like the quality is like it is the best quality I have ever heard. It is amazing. And I'm gonna tell you right now, in the last few days, I had a lot of fun with this software. I even made a lot of very funny jokes, to my family, and everyone was really impressed by the results. Like, it is really that good. And you can of course use any custom voices that you want. As long as you find a good quality sample, you can clone any voice that you want. Like, for example, if you take like the voice from Snake from the Metal Gear series that sounds like this.
I can't smoke a cigar if I don't have one, can I? Some kind of drug. The label says pentazamine.
Which if I now select, and now if I input a script, and I click generate podcast again, this is what I get in the end.
Life isn't just about passing on your genes. We can leave behind much more than just DNA. Through speech, music, literature, and movies, what we've seen, heard, felt, anger, joy, and sorrow. These are the things I will pass on. That's what I live for.
I mean, really just amazing. This is really good. This is really just fantastic. Now, what's really cool is that VibeVoice is also able to do a lot of different voices. Not just English. It can do a lot of different languages. And all you have to do is just provide a voice in the language that you want to generate. So like, for example, if I want to create a French voice, let's say I upload a audio of Emmanuel Macron, the French president, that sounds like this.
L'Ukraine fera les concessions qu'elle estime justes et bonnes. Nous, Européens, on doit être en situation d'apporter ces garanties de sécurité pour l'Ukraine et pour nous.
Then you input your script, you click generate, which in the end gives us something like this.
Mes chers compatriotes, ce matin, j'ai pris un café noir, sans sucre. Parce que le sucre, c'est comme la dette publique, ça a l'air doux au début, mais à la fin, ça vous ruine la santé. Ensuite, j'ai cherché mes chaussettes. Impossible de trouver la paire. Voilà la vraie crise de la nation.
And you might not speak French or understand what it says, but I can tell you, this is exactly Macron's voice in perfect French. And VibeVoice is able to do this very easily. I tested a lot of different languages and they all sound perfect. Spanish, German, Dutch, Russian, French, English, and there are probably even more languages that VibeVoice can do. And one language that VibeVoice can do that I also personally love is Japanese. And it can reproduce Japanese voices very well. Like, for example, this is a sample of a voice actor called Kenjiro Tsuda, which is one of my personal favorite voice actors, and the guy sounds like this.
貴様がどちらを選ぼうと、俺の心が揺らぐことはない。アビスを阻止することこそ、俺が歩む道だ。それに賛同できないのであれば、いっそここで。
So yeah, it sounds really good. So now if I choose this voice, and I put some Japanese text, and I click generate, which in the end it gives us something like this. And I'm actually even gonna show you Romanji version with its English meaning, so that you can follow along.
なあ、人生って、思ったよりも不器用なものだよな。うまくいかないことばかりで、気づけばため息ばかりついてる。でもさ、そういう時こそ、立ち止まってみればいい。焦らなくていいんだ。一歩ずつでいい。結局、俺たちが進む道は、自分で選ぶしかないんだから。
So yeah, although I don't necessarily speak Japanese, this definitely sounds really good. So if you are a fan of a certain voice actor, well, you can definitely use that to generate pretty much anything you want. Good or bad, well, that's really up to you. Now, another cool thing that VibeVoice can do is the ability to generate an entire conversation between multiple people. So like, for example, let's say you want to increase the number of speakers to 2, and let's say that you want to generate a conversation between Snake and his superior, Major Zero. Well, all you have to do is in your script, you actually have the example right here. You need to write speaker 1 for the first speaker and speaker 2 for the second speaker. So like, for example, let's say I have this conversation between speaker 1, which is Major Zero, and speaker 2, which is Snake. Here I need to input speaker 1, then the sentence, then on the new line I need to put speaker 2 for the second character, then here for the voices I actually made a mistake. I need to choose Major Zero here and Snake for the second speaker, and now if I click generate, which at the end gives us something like this.
Snake, do you copy? Loud and clear, Major. What's the situation?
Intel suggests the enemy is transporting a new type of weapon. We need confirmation before it reaches the border.
Another secret weapon. Feels like I've heard this story before.
This time it's different, Snake. If they succeed, the balance of power could shift overnight.
Fine, I'll get the intel. But you'd better be right about this, Major. I'm not risking my neck for a ghost story.
I wouldn't ask if it wasn't critical. The mission depends on you.
Oh god, I mean, this is so good. This is incredible. I mean, if you played the latest Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater remake, I mean, this is one-to-one the same exact voices. I mean, this is insane. I mean, this is amazing. And this is like a few seconds of audio. This is really super good. I mean, God, for the love of God, this is so good. And really, like, the last few days, I've had a lot of fun creating, like, generating a bunch of audios and stuff like that. I mean, for roleplay, this is next level, guys. Next freaking level. So yeah, I mean, this is so good. This is really, really good. Okay, so now that we know how to generate a voice from text with VibeVoice, the next question is, how do you actually make it better? Now, this next step is really super optional because the final voice is already pretty much perfect. However, if you want to make it even better, just a little bit tiny better, just like in my previous video of around 1 year ago, the next step is to actually take the audio and then run it through RVC. Now, if you don't know what RVC is, I've already made a video about it like around a year ago, which is still pretty much up to date because the web UI hasn't really changed, but it basically is the best tool for voice cloning and voice training. So if you have like an hour of a sample voice that you want to replicate, well, you can use RVC to do that. And what's really cool is that not only you can train a voice from scratch, but once you have trained the voice, you can not only share the model with other people, but you can then use it to convert an already existing audio into that voice, which can basically make the final audio even better. So like, for example, let's say that you have this audio that we generated previously with the voice of Donald Trump that sounds like this.
Let me tell you, folks, nobody understands technology better than me. They say, sir, how do you know so much about computers? And I say, look, I had the best emails. Everybody knows it.
There we go. Then next, how exactly do we make it even better? If you actually have on your hand a model of Donald Trump's voice cloned and trained, you can use that inside RVC to convert any audio into a better version of that audio. But how do we find already made models by the community? Well, for this, you have an absolutely amazing website called voice-models.com. And on this website, you can find the RVC models of a bunch of different characters. Anime characters, actors, politicians, etc, etc. All you need to do is basically just come here, search for the person that you want. Let's say I want Trump. You have here a bunch of different options. Usually I like to choose the one that has the best rating, so like this one for example. And now if I click on this link, it will download a zip file onto our computer that if you then extract, and inside you will find two files, a PTH file and an .index file. And those two files basically represent the entire training of the Donald Trump voice. And to use it is actually very, very simple. Once you have RVC installed, you're gonna take the trump.pth file, you're gonna go inside assets, weights, and then you're gonna paste it right here. And then you're gonna take the .index file, you're gonna go back, again, inside logs, you're gonna paste the index file right here. Then, inside RVC, you're gonna click refresh voice list and index path. Then you're gonna select the Trump inferencing voice. Then here, make sure that you select the correct index. Sometimes it doesn't do it automatically. Then here, you're gonna enter the path of the audio file to be processed, which is very easy. All you have to do is basically right click on this file, click copy as path. You're gonna paste it right here. Now, since we are using the same exact voice as Trump, we don't really need to change anything for the transpose value. Once again, if you don't know what any of these means, once again, I have a video about that. In this video, I will not show you how to use RVC. RVC, it is really just the most basic thing. It's always the same anyway. And then once you've input the path of the audio file, you're gonna click convert. And it's gonna take like a few seconds, maybe like 5 seconds, as you can see. And where before it sounded like this.
Let me tell you, folks, nobody understands technology better than me. They say, sir, how do you know so much about computers? And I say, look, I had the best emails. Everybody knows it. Beautiful emails, perfect emails. People are shocked. They're saying, wow, Mr. Trump, you really type fast. I don't type fast, folks. I type the best.
Which already sounds really, really good. But then in the end, with the RVC conversion, it sounds like this.
Let me tell you, folks, nobody understands technology better than me. They say, sir, how do you know so much about computers? And I say, look, I had the best emails. Everybody knows it. Beautiful emails, perfect emails. People are shocked. They're saying, wow, Mr. Trump, you really type fast. I don't type fast, folks. I type the best. Some people use 2 fingers. I use 1, but it's the strongest finger, believe me. And the computer loves it. Tremendous results.
As you can see, basically in the end, the voice sounds more clear, more clean, and you can basically convert any voice into the model that we downloaded previously. Now obviously, the VibeVoice model is already really, really good, so this is really just a very, very optional step. You don't need to use RVC. It's just that if you want to, you can. And this is how you should do it. However, doing all of this, going from VibeVoice into RVC, saving the audio file, then putting the file right here, then converting. I mean, all of that is nice and all, but it's kinda annoying. It's not like automatic or anything, and it would have been much better if everything was done automatically. Right, guys? Well, this is why I made the special workflow for Comfy UI. What an amazing transition. Because yes, once again, for this video, I prepared a special Comfy UI workflow that you can find on my Patreon. Just download the file, then drag and drop it inside Comfy UI, and then bada bing bada boom, you have here the VibeVoice RVC voice cloning ultra workflow, where you have within the same workflow the ability to generate a simple VibeVoice audio, but within the same workflow, then automatically convert it with RVC. So where before you had to do all of this manually, now everything will be done automatically. So like for example, once everything is installed, and I will show you installation later, like for example, let's say you want to generate the same thing with the voice of Trump. Once again, those Donald Trump models, PTH and index, we're gonna tag them, Control-C to copy them, then we're gonna go inside the Comfy UI folder, models, TTS, RVC, and then you're gonna copy the PTH model right here. And when it comes to the index model, you're gonna drag and drop it inside the .index folder right here. And once it's done, you can click R on your keyboard to refresh. Then you're gonna input your text. Here, for the first speaker voice, you're gonna choose the Donald Trump voice. As before, you can leave everything by default here, but since we're not using speaker 2, speaker 3, speaker 4, we could just disable them by using this button on the left. Here, since we want to use RVC, we're gonna leave this enabled. Then here for the model, I'm gonna choose the local model called Trump, and then for the index file, the local Trump index file. Once again, I'm gonna use 0 for the pitch, since this is the same person. If I click run, the first time it will download the model, so it might take a few minutes, but once the model is downloaded and everything is ready, everything should be really, really fast. And there you go. In the end, we will have 2 different voice files, the one made with VibeVoice, and then the same VibeVoice audio file converted with RVC. That is right here. And this is what it's gonna sound like. First, VibeVoice.
Let me tell you, folks, nobody understands technology better than me. They say, sir, how do you know so much about computers? And I say, look, I had the best emails. Everybody knows it. Beautiful emails, perfect emails. People are shocked. They say, wow, Mr. Trump, you really type fast. I don't type fast, folks. I type the best. Some people use 2 fingers. I use 1, but it's the strongest finger, believe me. And the computer loves it. Tremendous results.
And now the same audio, but converted with RVC.
Let me tell you, folks, nobody understands technology better than me. They say, sir, how do you know so much about computers? And I say, look, I had the best emails. Everybody knows it. Beautiful emails, perfect emails. People are shocked. They say, wow, Mr. Trump, you really type fast. I don't type fast, folks. I type the best. Some people use 2 fingers. I use 1, but it's the strongest finger, believe me. And the computer loves it. Tremendous results.
So yeah, I mean, this sounds pretty good. I think the pitch might be a little low, hence why the voice is a little too bassy for me. So you might have to maybe increase that to maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 maybe, so you can try again, see if that works better, because depending on the samples that were used to train the voice model, the voice might be a little bit different, hence why there might be such a difference between the 2 audio files.
Let me tell you, folks, nobody understands technology better than me. I say, sir, how do you know so much about computers? And I say, look, I had the best emails. Everybody knows it. Beautiful emails, perfect emails. People are shocked. They say, wow, Mr. Trump, you really type fast. I don't type fast, folks. I type the best. Some people use 2 fingers. I use 1, but it's the strongest finger, believe me. And the computer loves it. Tremendous result.
So yeah, there you go. As you can see, now with the pitch at a higher value, now this sounds a little bit more natural, a little bit more like Trump. But you can, of course, use any audio that you want. It doesn't really matter, this is really just an example, but this workflow makes it easier to automatically convert an audio with VibeVoice using RVC. So yeah, this is definitely way easier to use than having to switch between different web UIs. Now, one thing that I want to say is that you might have noticed that the quality of the audio cloning with VibeVoice was actually better inside the web UI compared to Comfy UI. And that is not an impression, because I also noticed the same thing. There is a small quality difference between using the web UI and using the Comfy UI implementation. So if you're not completely happy with the results that you hear in Comfy UI, then I definitely recommend trying VibeVoice inside the web UI. However, another thing that I also noticed is that the Comfy UI implementation actually produces better quality when you have multiple speakers inside the same script, where inside the web UI, once you have more than 3 speakers, you might get some weird voice mixing and audio glitches, whereas inside Comfy UI, the results is definitely way more stable. So basically, TLDR, if you want the best quality possible, with one single speaker, standalone web UI produces better results, but if you want multiple speakers at the same time, then the Comfy UI implementation is what you should be using. So yeah, there you go. Also, one thing that I recommend, if you're using multiple different speakers with like different languages and you want like better results, I highly recommend increasing the diffusion steps to something like maybe 40 or 50, depending on the amount of speakers, because sometimes 20 diffusion steps might be not enough when you have like a bunch of people talking together with different languages. But other than that, this is really just incredible. This is really just insane. I mean, VibeVoice by itself is really just the best text-to-speech AI model I have ever seen, hands down. Even better than the new Index TTS2 that just came out. VibeVoice still stays the best. So once again, if you want to install this on your own computer, if you're one of my Patreon supporters, you can just use the appropriate installers, either the web UI version for VibeVoice and RVC, or the appropriate version of Comfy UI. But don't worry, even if you don't have a powerful GPU or no GPU at all, you can still rent a GPU for a few cents an hour and run VibeVoice as if this was running on your local computer, as well as RVC. And I will show you how to install everything. So first, if you want to install the web UI version of VibeVoice, it is very simple. If you don't have a RunPod account already, you can click the link in the description down below and create a new account. Then you're gonna click on pods and choose a GPU with at least 24GB of VRAM, like a 4090 for example. Then here you're gonna click change template and you're gonna choose the RunPod PyTorch 2.1. You can also edit the template and maybe increase the container disk and volume disk to something like 50GB. Set overrides, and then click deploy on demand. Then you're gonna wait until everything is ready, and then you're gonna click here to go to the Jupyter Lab. Then once you are right here, once again, if you are one of my Patreon supporters, the installation is gonna be very easy for you, because I prepared a special VibeVoice web UI installer for RunPod. Then you can just drag and drop inside the workspace. Then you're gonna click on the terminal icon, and then you're gonna copy and paste these 2 lines of code that you will find in the Patreon post, and then press enter. And this will automatically install everything you need to run the VibeVoice VibeVoice web UI. Simple as that. And if you want to do the manual installation, once again, everything will be in the description down below. And then in the end, it will give you a public URL that if you click on it, will open the VibeVoice web UI ready to be used, as if this was running on your local computer. Simple as that. And once again, the same principle stays the same. You're gonna need to download the VibeVoice large model. This is the first thing that you need to do. You're gonna wait until everything is ready. Then once it's done, once the model is downloaded, you're gonna scroll up, select the VibeVoice large, then click load selected model. There you go. Now the model has been loaded successfully. And then here, once again, you're gonna upload your custom voice. You're gonna name it. Then you're gonna click add custom voice, choose only one number of speaker, choose your custom voice. Then you're gonna input your script, click generate podcast. And after a few seconds, we get something like this.
War has changed. It's no longer about nations or ideologies. It's about control. Information, weapons, even soldiers. All just pieces on someone's board. But as long as I'm still breathing, I'll fight to make sure we're more than just pawns.
Hell yeah, Snake. Hell yeah. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, this is really just amazing. And now it is running on RunPod, and you can use it from wherever you are. Simple as that. So the next, I will show you how to install the RVC web UI. Once again, the principle is always the same. You're gonna choose a GPU with at least 24GB of VRAM, but this time for the template, you're gonna change that to the RunPod PyTorch 2.1. You can maybe edit the template and increase the container disk and volume disk to something like 50GB for both. Then here, for the exposed HTTP port, then here you're gonna type 7865. Then you're gonna click set overrides, and then click deploy on demand. Then you're gonna wait until everything is ready. Then you're gonna click once again on the Jupyter Lab. Then once again, if you're one of my Patreon supporters, you're gonna use the RVC install RunPod installer. Then you're gonna drag and drop inside the workspace. Then click on the terminal icon. Then once again, you're gonna copy and paste these two lines of code that you will find in the Patreon post. Press enter, and this will download and install everything you need to run RVC on RunPod. Then once everything is done, you're gonna go back and click on this second link right here. And there you go. Now you have the RVC web UI running on RunPod. And if you want to use this, basically right here inside this folder, you have everything the same way as RVC. So like for example, if you upload an audio file right here, to enter the path of the audio file, basically all you have to do is right click, copy path, and then you're gonna paste it right here. But don't forget that just before the workspace, you need to input a slash so that the path is correct. And then here from there, you're gonna choose the correct inferencing voice, the index. Once again, you can just upload all of your files right there inside the correct folders, as I showed previously, and then you're gonna click convert. And then we get something like this.
I can't smoke a cigar if I don't have one, can I? Some kind of drug. The label says pentazamine. Beats me.
So yeah, there you go. As you can see, the voice conversion with RVC works even when it's running on RunPod. And then finally, if you want to use VibeVoice and RVC inside Comfy UI on RunPod, once again, you know the drill. You're gonna choose the 4090, you're gonna click change template, you're gonna look for ELEVENLABS, you're gonna choose my Comfy UI template, then you're gonna edit the template and make sure that you have 80GB for both the container disk and volume disk, then click set overrides, scroll down and click deploy on demand. Then you're gonna wait until everything is ready, then you're gonna click right here and you're gonna update Comfy UI by clicking on this button. If you want to follow the update, you can go back and click on this link right here, go inside logs, click on the terminal icon, and paste this command that will basically allow you to follow the update of Comfy UI and all the nodes. Then once the update is done, you're gonna go back, click restart. Then once it's done, you're gonna click refresh by pressing F5 on the keyboard. Then you're gonna go back to workspace inside Comfy UI. Then once again, you're gonna drag and drop the RunPod installer inside the folder. Then you're gonna click here, click on the terminal icon. Then once again, you're gonna copy and paste these two lines of code that you'll find in your Patreon post. And then you're gonna press enter. And this will download everything that you need to run the VibeVoice in RVC inside Comfy UI, inside RunPod. Then once everything is downloaded, you're gonna go back to Comfy UI, click on manager, then click restart, and then once it's done, you're gonna take the workflow and then drag and drop it inside Comfy UI. And there you go. Now the workflow is ready to be used. Now the first time that you run this workflow on RunPod, you gotta need to do a test to run, basically input some audio file and a simple text, then click run, so that basically all the models and files gets downloaded correctly, and also for the correct models folder to appear. So if you go inside the Comfy UI folder, then into models, you should now see a TTS folder. folder. And inside that TTS folder, this is where you will see an RVC folder, which is where you will input the PTH and the index file. However, if you remember correctly, normally inside the RVC folder, you should have a .index folder, and yet that folder is not here. So why is that? Well, that is because it is a hidden file, it is a hidden folder, and to make that folder appear, you basically just need to click on View, Show Hidden Files. And now as you can see, if you refresh, you will see this .index folder right here, and inside you will put your .index files for your RVC models. Simple as that. And once you do not forget to press R so that all the RVC models appear in the list. Oh, and by the way, do not forget that if you're using multiple speakers inside the Config UI workflow, instead of typing speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, etc., this time you need to use this very specific writing with the 1 and the 2 between two brackets to tell the VibeVoice node which speaker audio it is. So it's basically the same, but just different ways of writing the speaker name. And there you go. This has been VibeVoice, the best text-to-speech AI model ever released, capable of creating speech from audio files of only 10 seconds long. And you can use that model for anything you want. Believe me, it is really that good. So that being said, definitely try this out yourself and have some fun. And there you have it, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you also so much for my Patreon supporters for supporting my videos. You guys are absolutely awesome. You people are the reason why I'm able to make these videos, so thank you so much. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.